My name is Haley Isabel, and I'm currently a fifth grader at Charter School of Newcastle. I would now like to introduce Alex Jefferson, the Route 9 Library Manager. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to welcome you to the Route 9 Library and Innovation Center. We have been open 8 months now. We have hosted over 100,000 visitors. We've had over 1,000 programs, almost 8,000 new library users, and we have a circulation of 80,000. We owe that success to you, the community, and we thank you very much for your patronage thus far. Our success is based in part on our unique view of community engagement. We've taken a different view of community engagement, and we hope that in the future, what we're here for today will move us into the future. So once again, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello, I'm Emmanuel Che.
The other mic. No, actually, this one mic. There you go. There you go. Got it?
I'm Emmanuel Che, and I'm currently a fifth grader at Charter School of Newcastle. I would now like to introduce Jessica Gibson, the Senior Advisor of the Department of Community Service.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So we have some very special guests in the building, and I always like to start with the most important people in the building, which are our students. Will the students of Newcastle Charter please stand? Thank you. You can be seated. You are the reason why we're here, and we're so happy that you all are here with us and participating in our program. And I'm just uber excited about today, so I'm gonna try my best to stay focused on my notes. So there's some other folks that we have who are really awesome people in our community as well that we would like to acknowledge at this time. U.S. Senator Tom Carper. U.S. Senator Chris Coons. Representative J.J. Johnson. Representing the Lieutenant Governor's Office, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Brian Gordon. Our amazing president of our Route 9 Friends Library Group, Lee Jarman. And it couldn't be a press conference without the Newcastle County staff, and we have plenty of staff here supporting our initiative today. County Executive Matt Meyer. County Chief Administrative Officer Vanessa Phillips. My dear friend Tamara Morris, Director of Economic Development. Jason Miller, Director of Communications. Kyle, our master behind NCC TVs around here somewhere with his camera. There you are, Kyle. Here at the Department of Community Services, we are a huge department that offers many programs and many services to the community. And we have the fortunate opportunity to have what we think is the most amazing general manager, Marcus Henry. That was all for you, my buddy, Marcus Henry. My partner in crime. Diana Brown, our Community Services Library Manager. And Andy Norman, our State Librarian. Thank you for being here with us. Did I miss any other elected official that is here with us that I'm not able to see in the audience? Darius Brown, a good friend to the Route 9 Library. Thank you for being here, Darius Brown. And another good friend of mine, John Carwell. I've known John for years and was so happy to see him in the building representing the Department of Education here today. Thank you for being here. You You'll hear from other key partners of ours that are here today. We have a large representation from the YMCA, obviously, and they will share their partnership and why they're here a little bit later. Community engagement. Community engagement is pretty important around these parts because as a library and as a county, our focus is to engage the community. Whether that's from sewer to taxes to budgets to parks to paramedics to police, there's a huge array. But here at the libraries, we have a direct mission is to engage our community. One of the unique attributes of the Route 9 Library is our community engagement focus. And what does that focus mean? That simply means identifying who we can get in this building and how we can get them in this building. And the how is why we're all here today. Many of our programs that come out of our community engagement area are our access points is how we identify them. Engagement opportunities, areas of entrepreneurship, financial management, budgeting, social services, an array and a plethora of programming that's intended to drive this community to a better place. And that better place is self-defined. We don't define that. We allow that individual to identify that path as they engage in our programming. And we're also a library, right? So we have tons of books. How many of us have a library card? Ooh, there's a bunch of you who have to go to our circulation desk before you leave and obtain a library card, and most importantly, check out a book while you're here, and come back and share your experience at the library. Today's a very exciting day for many reasons, but we have some cool things happening today in our library. Our eatery is opening today. Yes. You have no idea how excited we are about our eatery opening, and we put the pressure on to make sure that you all had the first opportunity to engage in our eatery. So please, before you leave, our eatery does open at 11 a.m. Please take some time to patronize the eatery. And the eatery is strategically staffed by youth in our community who are also focused on culinary skills, who want to enhance their culinary skills to hopefully enter the workplace, and we're happy to be a huge component of that. At times, you might see other students in our eatery. Those students might be students from William Penn who are participating in an internship program. Some students might be participants of the Howard Culinary School program. So we're looking to engage as many culinary programs as we can, particularly with our youth, so that the children in this community see their peers in positions that they can be in as well. I just saw a good friend of mine walk in, Sylvia Banks, representing the Congresswoman Lisa Brown Rochester's office. Thank you, Sylvia, for being here. And there are many community engagement partners here, and I dare do this and not miss anybody, but I think I got everybody down. We have Stacey Key Davis here, who's a huge partner from the Boys and Girls Club. We have Scott Michaels, who was part of the video production that you saw earlier that we hope that you thoroughly enjoyed. And that really was a product of libraries programming. So that video you saw was done in this building by community leaders in this building and tons of families, as you can see, but it was all done through our green screen technology. So when you're in the building and we have the opportunity to engage people, we try to demonstrate how we utilize our spaces. This space right here is one of those. We have really cool lighting in here. Jason wanted it a little bit brighter. I wanted to kind of dim the environment. But in this room here, we're able to provide theatrical performances. We've had TEDx series conversations in here. We've had author events in here, fun karaoke nights, and tons of cultural programming and festivities. So welcome to what we always say is your library, and we hope that you come back, and most importantly, tell a friend. Thank you for having us.
Hello, my name is Adriana Oliver, and I am currently a 6th grader at the Charter School of Newcastle. And I would now like to introduce Matt Meyer, Newcastle County Executive. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Matt Meyer. I'm the County Executive. Adriana, come stand here for a minute. I just want to do an introduction of Adriana. Adriana is a 6th grader at Charter School in Newcastle. Miss Dawson is our homeroom teacher. She resides in Wilmington. She's going to go to Howard University one day. And I asked her what she wants to study. She said she has no idea, but I'm sure she'll figure it out. Give Adriana a round of applause. Thank you. Are there teachers in the room? Teachers, would teachers and staff at any school stand up if you would? Let's give them a round of applause. I particularly sympathize with you, empathize with you, feel your joy and maybe a little bit of your daily pain. I actually applied for a job as a 5th grade science teacher at Eastside Charter, which is in the Vision Academy, about 6 years ago. I got the job. It was in science. I wanted to teach math, so I ended up teaching elsewhere. But thank you, seriously, thank you for what you do every day to make sure that Adriana and all of these kids have a bright future. Today is a very, very exciting day for Newcastle County. Does anybody know what was here just 5 years ago when I was applying for that teaching job at Eastside Charter? Does anyone know what was right here if you came here 5 years ago? Nothing. It was a lot. It was an empty lot. And thanks to the dedication of people, a number of whom are in this room, this is a place where we are making magic every single day. People like Lee Jarman, who's the president of the Friends Group, people like Representative J.J. Johnson, who has decades-long career of serving this community, and I know that nothing was more important to him than making sure not just the county supported this library, but the state put their money where their mouth is and made sure that this institution actually happened, and not only happened, but happened in the high-quality way that it is happening today. So thank you to both of you and to those in the room who made this dream become a reality. Today is particularly special because, do any of you kids know when Newcastle County started, when it was founded? I'll give you a hint. Yeah, go ahead. 1673, wow. Wow, you guys prepared for today. You did your homework, huh? That's good, you memorized it before you came in. You didn't even look up there or there, I know. I know that you knew it. So, in our 345-year history, we have never accepted a grant as large as we are accepting today for programming at any one of our county libraries. Never. Now, Senator Coons did an amazing job as county executive, did amazing work for our libraries, enhanced our library system tremendously, but he never received a grant of this size. Now that he's in the Senate, he's able to help us access those funds and send it our way, along with Senator Carper. But $2 million is a lot of money. $2 million is a lot of money. And money is really, you learn, kids, as you get a little bit older, money's really about priorities. You spend money on something that you care about. And this is a statement by our federal delegation, by Senator Coons, Senator Carper, Representative Blunt-Rochester, that you kids matter and you kids are important. It's a statement by the YMCA. Jim Kelly's going to speak to us shortly. It's a statement by that institution that we want to partner. We want to go in together because we care about your future. We care deeply about your future, making sure you go to great places like Howard University. So as you're struggling and thinking in the future how you get to that next step, know that all these people in this room were behind you. And $2 million today we're announcing that's behind making that happen. Making that happen. It's also important to know that when you look at libraries, what are libraries? When I was a kid, I'd go to the library because my mom would make me go to the library. You hear me? Yeah? Agreement, right? I remember that. You go to the library because your parents make you go to the library. At the same time, we have a big problem in our community, a problem of illiteracy that's not often spoken about. The News Journal wrote about it a few months ago, that there's this problem of illiteracy that's not going away. Kids and adults alike, many do not know how to read, basic reading skills. When you go to get a job or just have a quality of life, it's really hard to do that when you don't have basic math and reading literacy skills. So one thing we're trying to do through our library system is figure out how do we get those kids to our libraries if their parents aren't taking them to the library? How do we bring them in here? How do we creatively engage those students who maybe aren't reading 30 minutes a day at home as they should be and get them to come into the library and read 30 minutes here? And today is a big, big part of that. And it's really to the credit of Marcus Henry, Diana Brown, Jessica Gibson here at the Route 9 Library, and Alex that we're doing that. And we're doing that in partnership with others. So thank you all for coming today. Kids, we are so excited about partnering with you to make today happen, along with all the dignitaries and organizations that are here today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kendall Tyree, and I'm an 8th grader at Charter School of Newcastle, and I would like to introduce Aaron Bass, the CEO of Vision Academy.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I'd love to start off and just explain to you about Vision Academies and who we are. So I'm the CEO of Vision Academies. We are Eastside Charter and Charter School of Newcastle. We have 1,200 students between Newcastle and Wilmington, and we are students from all the way throughout the Newcastle County. We are focused on students through age 23. So our schools go from pre-K all the way to 8th grade. But what's different about us is that we decided we have a commitment to our children. So that means that for our children, when they leave us in 8th grade, we stay with them in high school. We support them wherever they go. We stay with them in college and support them wherever they go there. And we also stay with them after they graduate from college and into their career. Because for us, we want to make sure that our students who have incredible visions and dreams and goals, when they are in 3rd grade and in 5th grade and in 8th grade, that they can achieve those dreams and realities. And so we have an incredible staff, and so I'm thankful to be here with Dr. O and also Principal Valentine, as well as our staff from Charter School of Newcastle today, representing our staff of 150 people that work on a daily basis to make sure that our children, who are the most precious and wonderful gift any state could ever have, can achieve that dream, and we can forever change Delaware. So thank you all for being here today for that. I also want to say, these students, even this year, who we're making sure coming that mountain to college, they've brought in $1.3 million in scholarship this year alone. So to our students, we applaud them. I want to say thank you for this partnership for $2 million, and it is incredible this is taking place, is because of the hard work of our staff and our students who come in on a daily basis and demand the best education possible. It's possible because we also have our Newcastle County executive and the Newcastle staff that have come together and said, we want to do more for our students. What can we do? It's possible because we have our legislators, U.S. Senator Tom Carper and also Senator Coons, who have come here and who have made decisions in D.C. to impact our children. I'm privileged that a few times a year I get to go to Washington, D.C. and speak with legislators about increasing funding for education for students all across America, not just for our current students, but all across America. And I was in Senator Carper's office about a month ago. We had a conversation. We were talking about some bills and legislation. And he looked at me and he said, I'm fine with everything. My concern is I want to make sure that the funding reaches the students in Delaware. He talked about, he's representing everybody, but he wants to make sure it happens here. And so it was amazing that 1 month ago I was having that conversation, and then today we are here. And so thank you to our elected officials in Delaware and also across the United States who have been here today, because you've made this possible. I also want to thank the Department of Education, who has made sure this has happened for our children. We have made sure that we're trying to do the best for our children, and it's great when you have people that are in partnership with you. And then also, if you've not had a chance to visit this library, we wanted to focus on our children having the best education, so that meant that when we found this library and what was established here, we wanted our students to have access to everything here. This is a world-class library unlike any other, and so we call it a library and also an innovation center. And so thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for this partnership, and we are thankful that the world of tomorrow is going to be wonderful because of those prepared today, and so we're glad to have our children here today representing Eastside Charter School of Newcastle and Vision Academies. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Armani Evans, and I am currently a 6th grader at Charter School of Newcastle. I would now like to introduce James Kelly, YMCA of Delaware, Chief Operation Officer. Thank you.
I think this is the first time I've come to the podium. I don't have to lower or raise the, this is great. So I really appreciate being here. I was talking to my wife this morning about, she asked, what are you doing today? And I said, well, this is the third time I've told her. I'm going to be a part of a presentation or a press release today about a wonderful partnership that we're doing. And she's been an English teacher for 44 years, and she's teaching her last class today. And she said, what a nifty program. And I thought for an English teacher, she could have used a different word than nifty, but nifty sounds pretty good. And but she said, boy, what a win-win for everyone, and especially the children. And I think that's what we're here about today. And I've been in the Y 40 years. This is my 40th year. And all these years I've been in the Y, we've tried to do things by ourselves so many times. And we don't quite succeed like we like to succeed. And when you bring partnerships together like this one, I think gives the greatest opportunity to have the impact on children's lives and families' lives in our community. So I would hope and encourage that as we go through this over the next few years and working together in this capacity, that we think about this as a model for everything that we do. That we can't do things by ourselves anymore. We need our government, we need our educators, we need our nonprofits, we need everyone to come together to make these things happen. And without that, it's just not going to work for us as we go through this life. And so I am so excited to be here representing the YMCA. Our CEO, Deborah, is at a conference, and she would have loved to have been here because summer learning loss is something that we have focused on in the YMCA for many years. But this is going to be like summer learning loss focus on steroids for us. And we think that's a wonderful opportunity for us to have a model that we can hopefully be able to spread through all of our other branches around the state of Delaware. And I hope that these opportunities become available to other parts of the state so that we can partner with other agencies, the Boys and Girls Club, the JCCs, and other organizations that we can all work together to make this happen. So we're very excited about being the camp component of this. And camp is a great place for kids to come. They get to meet new friends, which they don't get to do every day when they go to school every day. They'll have a chance to learn new things. They'll get to swim every day. They'll get to shoot bows and arrows. They'll get to do drama and all the other things that come with camp. And there's nothing like learning in a camp setting. It's a little bit different from school, but you're going to have the same things and the same experiences that you have throughout the school year. And so we're very excited about being that component for this program, and we're looking forward to working with everyone. I want to thank my staff that are here today also. I'm not going to mention them all, but Terry Mullen and Pam Kennedy are the executive directors of the branches that this program will be at. Their staff, Jen Reed and Courtney, are going to be involved in making sure the kids have wonderful, wonderful days at the YMCA. We also have some of our other camp directors here. John and Mark are here to make sure this gets kicked off properly at all of our sites. And again, we're just very thankful to be recognized as an organization that has the capacity to help make this work. And we want to make sure that we do a great job and we see this spread throughout the state and around the country as well. So thank you very much for having the YMCA involved in this wonderful, wonderful event. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Helen Rosa Tangcho, and I'm currently a 7th grader at Charter School of Newcastle. It is my honor to introduce our next guest speaker today, United States Senator Tom Carper. Tom Carper is a senior senator from Delaware. He served 5 years as a naval flight officer, served 3 tours of duty in Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War, and continued to serve in the Naval Reserve as a P-3 aircraft mission commander until retiring with the rank of captain in 1991 after 23 years of military service. During almost 40 years of public service, Senator Carper has worked tirelessly to develop practical solutions to real problems. Senator Carper is the ranking member of the Environment and Public Work Committee and serves as a member of the Committee of Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs and Finance Committee. Please join me in welcoming Senator Tom Carper.
Where do you go to school?
Charter School of
No, come on here. Where do you go to school?
Charter School of Newcastle.
How do you like it?
Good.
What do you like most about it?
The community.
What do you mean the community?
Like people learn at every school, but at Charter School of Newcastle, they build communities and friendships that last a long time.
Where did you go to school when you were in the, say, kindergarten and the 1st grade?
Fairway.
Fairway, okay. Well, how is it different than where you go to school now?
More conservative, like more strict, I would say.
Stricter, more discipline?
Not
No? Longer school day, more you learn?
Yeah,
longer school day. I used to be governor of Delaware, and one of the things we focused on was raising student achievement. I believe that all kids can learn. My boys grew up in public schools here. They went to a charter school in Wilmington for high school, and then off to the college. But one of the most important things we do in government is to try to make sure that everybody, when they finish up school, that they finish school, and that they go on to continue their education in their life, but that they're ready for life when they walk out the door and graduate, and whether they go to college or not, but they're ready to support themselves and their families. And one of the ways we found to try to do a better job of educating children is charter schools. And one of the things I love, I was governor, signed into legislation the law creating charter schools in Delaware. And one of the reasons why we did that, I like to say, find out what works and do more of that. Everything I do, everything that we do, I know we can do better. And that includes educating our children. And one of the things I love about charter schools is they experiment. And it might be like a longer school day. It may be a partnership like you have here with Newcastle County and with this incredible library. It may be with the way they reach out to parents and involve the parents in the education of their kids. It might be because they maybe have an extra guidance counselor or two, but they experiment to find out what works. And I just want to say, along with my colleague, Senator Coons, who used to be Newcastle County, his name used to be up here with Matt Myers. And Lisa Blunt Rochester is not here, but she's our congresswoman, and she was very much involved as a member of my staff, member of my cabinet, in creating a charter school movement and raising student achievement. In fact, she's the first African American to serve in the United States House of Representatives. First congresswoman we've ever had. We've been a state for over 200 years, and you might be the second. You never know. But she's on, Senator Coons serves on, I think, 5 different committees in the Senate. He is a workhorse. And I serve on 3 committees, and I try to keep up with him. But Congresswoman Blunt Rochester, she serves on the Agriculture Committee, which is important for, we want to eat, and we want to make sure that we feed the world. But you know what else? She serves on a committee called Education and Workforce. And she's involved in trying to make sure that every kid in Delaware, every kid in the country, when they come into this world, they have a chance to be successful. And I just want to say, I think you're going to be a real success. Give her a nice round of applause. Sometimes I go to school and we do assemblies, and kids say, "What do you do?" And I tell them that Senator Coons and I try to help people. We make the rules for our country. How many of you are in 5th grade here? In 5th grade? Anybody here in the 6th grade? Anybody in 7th grade? Anybody in the 8th grade? Do we have anybody here in the 4th grade? 4th grade. When you're in the 4th grade, did you study the Constitution? In the 4th grade, did you all study the Constitution? Did you? Okay. Was that yes or no? No? What did you study the Constitution in the 5th grade? Yes or no? No. Okay. Well, you should have. Because the Constitution says that we have 50 states. Now we have. Every state has 2 United States senators, and every state has at least 1 United States representative. And together, Senator Coons and I and 98 and other senators, we all make the rules for our country. And we try to help people. We try to help people. And one of the best ways you can help somebody is make sure they have a good education. They graduate from school and go on to college, or they go on into the work, go into the military, you name it. But to continue their education for the rest of their lives. When we woke up this morning, about 200 million people in America went to work. About 200 million people. We got about 300 million people in the country, roughly. But about 200 million people today will go to work today, this afternoon, tonight. There are 3 million jobs in this country that nobody's going to show up to do today. Think about that. 3 million jobs in this country that nobody's going to show up to go to work today. And we need people to do those jobs, but nobody's signed up to do them. In part because they don't have the education. In part because they don't have the work experience. And because maybe they just don't want to do that particular job. And we have our work cut out for us. One of the best ways that we are going to do that is through teamwork. Teamwork. Do we have any football fans here? Do we have any Eagles fans here? Okay. The Eagles won the Super Bowl because they were the best team. Best team. Villanova won the NCAA men's basketball championship because they were the best team. I think if the Philadelphia 76ers win the NBA this year in basketball playoffs now, it will be because they are the best team. And in order for children to succeed and get an education, go on and be successful in their lives, they need to be part of a great team. And what we have here is evidence of that kind of team. And Matt, I just want to applaud you. I want to applaud everybody from Newcastle County, JJ, the council, everybody, Senator Coons, who laid the groundwork as former county executive for this sort of teamwork and camaraderie. Last word that I would say. There's an old saying, I used to think this was in the Bible, Senator Coons, but now I found out maybe it's not. But it goes something like this. If you give a person a fish, you feed them for one day. If you teach a person to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. Think about that. Give a person a fish, feed them for a day, teach them to fish, and then they can feed themselves for a lifetime. And what we're about here is teaching people not necessarily to fish or to hunt or that sort of thing, but actually how to do a job and do a kind of job, do it well, and be able to go on and have a successful career and so provide for yourself and for your families. This is the start of something good. And what we hope to do is to take this $2 million from the federal government, which is designed to help find out what works and do more of that. My hope is that what you're doing here, what you're doing right here in this school, the Newcastle Charter School, what you're doing here in this library and Center for Innovation, that other states around the country, other schools around the country will say, we want to do what they're doing because it works. Congratulations for everybody. We're happy to be on your team. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christina Martinez, and I am currently an 8th grader at Charter School of Newcastle. It is my privilege to introduce our guest speaker today, a champion of charter schools in Delaware, United States Senator Chris Coons. Senator Coons has served as Delaware's junior senator since 2010. As a champion of bipartisan legislation, he fights every day for Delawareans. From working on the Senate Appropriations Committee, Foreign Relations Committee, Judiciary Committee, Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee, and Ethics Committee, to being a founding member of the Senate Law Enforcement Caucus, Senate Chicken Caucus, Senate Competitiveness Caucus, and Senate Human Rights Caucus. Senator Coons works tirelessly for Delawareans and Americans alike. Please welcome Senator Chris Coons.
Christina's pretty smart because she got off the stage before I could stop her and interrogate her. Christina is an 8th grader and has big dreams, and I hope you'll give her a round of applause for being so brave as to be with us today. Can I just have every one of the students who's with us today stand up for a minute? Please just stand up. Oh my gosh, could every grown-up in the room give you a round of applause? Thank you to the students who are incredibly well behaved. Students in 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th, not all those grades, but students from 3rd to 8th grade. You guys have been paying really good attention. I am incredibly impressed with you, with your teachers, with your faculty. Thank you. Thank you to the folks who made this possible, and I'm going to be brief so we can get to hearing your chorus sing. Let me just say this is a simple harmony in 3 parts today. We've got 3 different things coming together today. Marcus, it is great to be with you again. To be with Marcus and Diana and our state librarian, Andy Norman, and Lee Jarman, the folks who made this library possible. This is an amazing resource. Matt, who's the county executive, who you can tell has the heart of a teacher and a servant, understands just how hard it is to raise the money and come up with the plans and deliver a library like this, but these folks who live and dream and hope about libraries every day, along with Jessica Gibson, who makes this library sing. Thank you for this Route 9 Library and Innovation Center. Give them a round of applause if you would, because they're just so awesome. That's the anchor of the team, because this is the building, the space that's now going to become the ground, the core, the place where this stuff all happens. But then other folks are going to bring it to life, right? So Jim told us about the YMCA. How many of you have ever been to a YMCA? Who's ever been to a YMCA? That's great. Because the YMCA helps bring good things to life. Whether it's after-school programs or summer camps or opportunities to meet new folks or to do new things. I think you actually talked about it, right? Bo's in there, right? Okay. Were you acting that out? You're acting, right? Could you stand up for us and just act? I saw you doing it. Come on, stand up and act out. What are the things you love doing at camp? Can I? Bow and arrow, that's one. What else? Anything else? Swimming, can we see swimming? Sorry if I embarrassed you. Thank you so much. Round of applause. But think about it. The county library is serving as the foundation, a gift from the community, from the taxpayer resources of Newcastle County, that has amazing library staff, folks who've made this and designed the programs and are so excited for you to come. And then the YMCA, which understands better than anybody how to run summer camps that are fun and engaging and connect you, are going to help do all those wraparound services. But at the very center of it all is the Charter School of Newcastle, part of the Vision Academy, Eastside Charter, Charter School of Newcastle. And all of you go to Charter School of Newcastle, is that right? Yes. And all of you are learning wonderful things and staying awake, is that right? Yes. Oh my gosh. So this is a 3-part team. Newcastle County Library, YMCA, Charter School of Newcastle. You know, we've got a 3-part team in Congress. Every day that we're in session, Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester gets up early, gets on the train. My senior senator and friend Tom Carper gets up early and gets on the train. I get up early and get on the train, and we all go to Washington. And every day that the grown-ups of this state get up and go to work, they send some of their money to Washington. That's what taxes are all about. JJ, can I get an amen? I didn't say amen. Some of the taxes go to Dover, some of the taxes go to Newcastle County, but most of them go to Washington. And it's just not that often that enough of them come back. And this team of 3 worked hard to make sure that this $2 million grant of federal taxpayer money came back. Now sometimes, we have little fights in Washington, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. Because as I said earlier, every day in Delaware is better than any day in Washington. But this is part of something called the 21st Century Learning Centers program. And we had a little fight about it. That's probably worth talking about for 1 minute. Because there's this guy who's president of the United States. And he runs the executive branch. And you know what he said to the 21st Century Learning Centers? Right? So he submitted a budget proposal to us that said 0 was how much we were going to spend as a country on this program last year and this year. And then a team of Republicans and Democrats working together in the House and the Senate worked really hard and said, yes. And this year we're going to spend over $1.2 billion on programs exactly like this all over the country. And I think that's a good thing, an investment in our community and our country. Now, part of why you send us there as a team of 3 is to make hard decisions, right? Do we spend more on defense? Do we spend more on education? Do we spend more on researching how to cure diseases? Do we spend more on clean water? And that's what Representative J.J. Johnson does for us in Dover, and that's what Senator Carper and Congressman Blunt Rochester and I do in Washington. And it has been a joy and a blessing to be on the Appropriations Committee and have to be in the middle of these fights over how do we spend this money. But to have the opportunity to support this amazing anybody ever been in a 3-legged race? You ever been in a 3-legged race at camp where you get tied together and you have to run? This is a 3-partner team that has run so far, so fast, and so well together. There is, as Senator Carper knows well, a great saying. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And today we celebrate one of the best examples of the Delaware Way, which is a team of 3 that has come together between Newcastle County, Charter School of Newcastle, and YMCA of Delaware, and fought really hard to compete for a grant that has come here from Washington to give back to our community some of what we have given to our nation. And I am so excited to see what that's going to mean for you, for Christina, for all the other students who we've seen this morning, who are well-dressed, attentive and well-disciplined, and who've got bright and promising futures. Because as Matt knows well, that's what this is really all about. We are so excited for the blessing of your future, and we are so grateful for the chance to play some very small role in helping make that happen. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing you sing.
Hello, my name is Alode Olubwale, and I am currently a 5th grader at Charter School of Newcastle. I would now like to introduce the elementary and middle school principals of Charter School of Newcastle, Principal Valentine and Dr. Odumosu.
Hello, I'm Dr. Odumosu, and we at the Charter School of Newcastle are extremely excited about this partnership. We know that this partnership, this grant, will open up a variety of experiences and amazing opportunities for our students, so we are just extremely grateful and thankful to every single person who played a role in making this happen, our elected officials, YMCA, Newcastle County Libraries. Thank you so very much for making this happen. Our students will definitely benefit from this partnership.
Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Valentine and I am the principal of the elementary campus. This is a wonderful opportunity for our students. They're looking forward to spending time this summer really just obtaining the tools to be successful in life. Our students are charged and ready. Please hand them everything that they need to just be incredible citizens and make an impact in the state of Delaware and around the United States and around the world. And so without further ado, I am looking forward to bringing up our elementary choir, who has been led all year by our director of music, which is Miss Bethany Leidick, and so she'll be bringing up our choir. Our students will also be giving you a sneak preview of our upcoming musical on May 4th at 7 p.m., and they'll be performing The Lion King. So this is a small sneak preview. So next up, you will be hearing our elementary choir. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our wonderful choir for doing an awesome job. Also, thank you to our board members. I want to make sure I introduce Jocelyn Stewart and Dr. Bailey, as well as from the Charter School office, the Charter School Network, Kendall Massett. Thank you all for being here. And thank you all, Norm Solomon, who was one of the writers of the grant. And thank you all for coming today to introduce such a wonderful opportunity. Have a wonderful day.